that is on ao3. I know that sentence is not. Today we're going to be reading chapters. What the fuck am I saying? Why am I saying episodes? I'm gonna be reading and reacting to. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are, get some popcorn. I think you might enjoy what. So yeah, hi, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here. Maybe this time is finally the clue. It wasn't enough, no more. And this is just me because, excuse me, Giancarlo said, yeah, sure, there. Could you, sorry. Mark closed the door to the pond behind him, sitting his, I don't know how to read today. What the fuck is going on with me today? And I will see you then. Yeah. Hello everyone and welcome to a new video here in my channel. If you're new, hi and welcome. I am Bra. I'm very happy to see you here. If you're not new and you already know me, hi, welcome back to a new video here in my channel. For today's videos, you can't probably tell because I have my McLaren shirt on. I am here to do another episode of the reading F1 fanfictions from ao3, specifically The Ghost of You, which is a fanfiction that is on ao3 about webbonso, which is Fernando Alonso Mark Webber, in case no one knows about that, because I haven't actually clarified what webbonso is. I just assume that everyone knows what webbonso is, what that ship is. The ship is Fernando Alonso and Mark Webber, and a friend of mine is obsessed with them, and they wrote this specific fanfiction that I have been reading for the past couple of weeks. I don't know, I think I've been posting a video every other week on this, or a couple of months ago. I don't even know how long the videos of this series have come out. I know that sentence is not grammatically correct, but the thing is, I have been reading this fanfiction that my friend wrote, and today I have another episode. Today I'm gonna be reading chapters 7 and 8, and I think after this I have 2 other videos I have to do, so I think I have 4 chapters left, I think. But into this video, I'm going to be reading and reacting to chapters 7 and 8 from The Ghost of You, which is, again, the fanfiction that my friend wrote. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this little video, which is not going to be little, it's going to be pretty long. So get something to eat, something to drink, because we all need to be hydrated. And let's begin with this video. If you're excited, please like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so you're going to find when I post a brand new video every Friday. And now let's begin with this video, because I have 2 chapters to go through, and I'm not the best at reading out loud. And today, apparently, I'm not even good at speaking, so it's going to take a while for me to film this and edit. So, you know, sit down, enjoy this video, and yeah, let's begin reading. Okay, so I haven't said my friend's username because I forgot, so I'm going to put it here. My friend's username is Alonso Goes Room. Again, I'm going to write it here. And yeah, that is his, his username. If you want to go into ao3, look them up and see what other things they have, published, feel free. I have read everything that is currently published in ao3, and I have read some other things that, they sometimes just write and they just, give it to me. Like, there you go, I wrote this, you're gonna like it, and I always do. So I think you might enjoy what they have published if you like this video, or if you have been following since episode 1. So just go check them out if you want, because they are so amazing and I love them. And if I can just show the world how amazing they are, I will, because that's what a friend does. A friend always encourages and shows what their other friends do, because I don't know, just what a friend does. So let's begin with chapter 7. I have my laptop here with me. I haven't showed it this time, but I have my laptop here with me because I always do these videos on my laptop because I film on my phone. In case anyone's new and doesn't know that, I film on my phone, so I need my laptop to film videos sometimes, aka these kind of videos. So yeah, I'm gonna start reading chapter 7, and I hope you enjoy my reactions to this. By the way, if you want to know what is currently going on, because this is the first video you're encountering with me, this video is episode 4 of me reading this fanfic, which means that there are other episodes before where you will get all the context and, you know, everything that has happened until now. So I would recommend you reading those, watching those if you want. So I'm gonna put them on the eye, and yeah, I will just leave them there in case you want to, you know, check those out before you come back to this one, because you might probably not know what the freak is going on if you don't know the context of what happened before. So yeah, I will leave those on the eye, and now let's begin reading chapter 7. Finally, the apartment is in the opposite direction, Mark. Fernando half turning from looking outside the window to look at Mark. I know, we are not going back just yet, Mark shrugged, eyes fixed on the road. But he didn't need to look at Fernando to know he was most likely rolling his eyes at him. Look, I know so far things haven't gone how we expected, but we still have the matchbook. Maybe this is finally a clue that will take us somewhere. Don't lose hope just yet, mate. Fernando sighed, going back to looking outside of the window. He had forgotten about the matchbook, but he didn't want to get his hopes up. I don't know how to read today, as you can tell. Oh my god. The whole day has begun just as a constant reminder that Fernando's life was pathetic and lonely, and he had enough of it. He didn't want to keep digging just to find more about how dull he was when he was alive, or whatever. Hey, why are you upset? We are getting somewhere. No, we're not. We haven't discovered anything useful about who am I, or why am I like this. We are getting there. I can feel it, mate, Mark insisted. Look it this way. That is grammatically wrong. It's supposed to be look at it this way, I think. The worst thing that can happen is that you died alone of an overdose. I don't do drugs, Mark. Just like you don't sleep with the married men. Mark raised an eyebrow at him, and Fernando was once again wishing he could punch the other man. First of all, it was one man, singular, Fernando said. And second, what if I was? There was nothing wrong about having a healthy sexual appetite. Not at all, but being a homewrecker on the other hand. Hey, maybe I didn't know he was married. You can't pull the blame on me. He's the one cheating on his wife. Mark! They're talking about Andrea, just for context. They're talking about Andrea because they went to see someone and this man came up and they're talking about Andrea. I can't believe this is happening. Oh my god. What now? Mark cited. I know this place. Wait, really? You recognize it? You know this is not necessary, right? I can just walk through it. Fernando chuckled softly when he realized Mark was holding the door open for him. I was trying to be a gentleman. Mark rolled his eyes. Well, I think this makes you look a bit stupid. Mooses. I love this restaurant. Cool, Mark whispered. If you ate here a lot, maybe someone from the staff remembers you. This is good, mate. I never ate here, Fernando muttered. I wanted to, I just never did. Why didn't you? I don't know, Fernando sighed. Maybe the guy at the dry cleaners was right. Maybe I am lonely. Mark was about to follow Fernando, both ready to leave the restaurant and go back to the apartment when a loud noise made both of them stop and turn around. Oh my god, Ollie! Stephen, call 911, called out a guy that Mark assumed was the maitre as he crouched down and examined the fallen waiter. I can't tell if he is breathing. We need a doctor, he said, looking up at another waiter that had crouched down to the other side of the unconscious guy. Fernando watched the scene with a frown and a sense of familiarity. The more he watched the staff struggle to help their fallen colleague, the more his hands itched to intervene. It wasn't until he heard one of the guys on the ground ask if anyone was a doctor that Fernando's brain got to work. Feel his chest, Fernando said, completely focused. What? Mark asked. His chest. You need to feel it and check if it's bloated. How the fuck would I know if it's bloated? Mark, just do it. We might not have much time. Move. I need to feel his chest. he shouted, trying to not let out that he had no idea what he was doing. Okay, open his shirt. Are you sure about this, mate? Mark, I can't do this without you, see? And we're wasting precious time, so please open his shirt. Okay. Hell, just tell me, what do you want me to do? Can you feel his ribs? I think so. I can if I press down, Mark muttered. Does he feel bloated? What's wrong with him? One of the other waiters suddenly asks Mark. Tell him it's attention pneumothorax. My friend actually looked at, actual words of medicine to do this. This is too much even for me. And ask for a sharp paring knife and a bottle of vodka. It's a what? How the hell did Fernando know all of this? Air is escaping out of the lungs into his chest, and that's creating pressure around the organs, he explained. Fernando kept guiding Mark, helping him find the spot between his rib near the bottom of his chest, right on time for the waiter to bring him the knife and vodka. Okay, pour it down. Now pour the vodka down on the skin. Now the knife. What? What do you want me to do with the knife? You're going to make an incision and exact place to relieve this pleasure so he can breathe again. He couldn't just do that. What if he killed the boy? No way, mate, I can't. Mark, Fernando interrupted him, sounding serious. His life is at stake. You need to do this. Put the blade against his skin. How do you know this? I don't know, I just do. Just trust me, see? Fernando's voice was softer than Mark's had ever heard it, and he was looking at Mark with a small, encouraging smile. Sorry, yeah, the poor, Mark mumbled to himself. Mark, stop it. We are not done here. We can't get drunk now, Fernando groaned. You need to put the power in the incision you just made. Are you insane? Just do it, Mark. It will keep the hole from closing. Mark sighed. He's breathing, Mark yelled out, his eyes big in surprise. The ambulance is on its way. A waiter said from where he was standing with the phone. I can't believe my friend included Ollie and Esteban in this fic. Ollie Berman is in the fic and Esteban Ocon is in the fic. I'm not a big fan of Esteban Ocon, but Ollie's in here, so I'm just happy now. Oh my god, I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know this was gonna happen. Okay. Fernando looked around, satisfied with a satisfied smile on his face. I'm a doctor, he suddenly exclaimed when the feeling of realization hit him. Mark, I am a doctor. You need to ask them where the nearest hospital is, Mark. Oh, it's St. Matthew's. St. Matthew's, Mark repeated, nodding his head before smiling at Esteban. Thank you. Are you just leaving him there like that? He asked, gesturing out of the group of people standing around with the boy with a hole in his chest. The ambulance will be here at any moment, Fernando struggled. You really want to have to explain to them how a man with no medical background was able to successfully do a thoracostomy with only rudimentary equipment? Fernando raised an eyebrow at him. He'll be fine, let's go. Mark nodded, looking back at the boy one last time before he followed Fernando out of the restaurant, their new destination clear. And Fernando felt like they were finally moving forward to get some answers. Oh my god, this is gonna be such a long video. I am so sorry. It's taking me so long to read everything, so it's gonna be a pretty long video. I'm so sorry for that, but it is what it is, I guess. Depending on how long this is, I might just divide this into and just do one chapter per video. I will divide this specific video in two, because this might be actually pretty long. Oh my god. And this is just because I am not, in a good reading comprehension day where I'm actually able to read properly. You know what I mean? I can't believe I saved your life, mate, Mark said. This is amazing. It is, isn't it? I can't believe this is what I do for a living. I can, Mark struggled. I think it suits you, the whole saving lives thing. I don't know. Oh, Fernando said softly. Thank you, I guess. I worked here, Fernando said with a smile. That's why the neighbors never saw me, because I was working. Really? See, that Giancarlo, he said, pointing at the receptionist. And that's Felipe and Rob. I remember now, Mark. That's good. Mark looked at Fernando with a smile, and the Spaniard went back to looking at the busy staff. So, where do we start? Fernando frowned, looking around until his eyes landed on Giancarlo again. Giancarlo, he said, as he started to move on the desk. Mark in tow. Oh, hi. Mark cleared his throat to get Giancarlo's attention. My name is Mark Weber, and I'm looking for someone that works here. His name is Fernando. Giancarlo smiled with for a moment. His eyebrows knitted together as he looked up at Mark uncertainly. That's not good, Fernando said from next to Mark. Fernando, as in Fernando Alonso. See, that's my name, Mark. Yeah, the one and only, Mark nodded. Do you know where I can find him? I'm sorry, but Dr. Alonso is not active on our staff at the moment. Excuse me a moment, Giancarlo said. Oh no, Fernando said with his shoulders deflated. He has a tone. What tone? What's wrong? Mark asked. We are finally getting some answers. That's good, no? No, Mark, he has a tone to use when you don't want to tell someone their loved one is dead. He's trying to find someone else to tell you, I am dead. I can't believe I'm actually dead. You are right all along. Hey, no, come on, don't say that, mate. You're okay, yeah? Just calm down. Mark spoke softly. Excuse me, Giancarlo said. Could you go to the third floor nursing station? Yeah, sure. Is there a problem or something? Someone will meet you there and explain the situation. Hey, come on, mate, Mark's voice said softly next to him. The ride to the third floor was spent in silence, and when the doors opened, more memories came back to Fernando. I know him, Fernando whispered. Yeah? Mark asked quietly as he walked closer to the desk. See, that's Andrea. He was my mentor. This is bad, Mark. Giancarlo would have sent you up here to talk to Andrea if he wasn't bad. I am dead. No, we need answers. He's the best person to give them to us. And Mark said that because Fernando is like, I don't know if I want to go and see that, you know? Anyway, Andrea goes and says, Mr. Weber? Yeah, just Mark is fine. Mark tried to smile. I'm Dr. Andrea Stella, and I was told you were asking for Fernando Alonso. Yeah, I'm trying to find out what happened to him, and I thought maybe you could help. First, I need to know your relationship with Fernando. My relationship with Fernando, Mark repeated. Tell him that you're my boyfriend, Fernando said next to him. Come on, Mark, just get the information. He won't tell you anything if we weren't intimate. We were, intimate, Mark said. What do you mean? He asked. He's my boyfriend, he declared more confidently. Finally, some recognition to my two babies. It took fucking 7 chapters, but they're finally saying out loud that they were boyfriends, because they were. Like, of course they were. How can you make a webbonso fic without them being partners? Like, I am so happy. I am so happy, as you can tell. Oh my god, my hair. Okay, we were boyfriends. Well, he's my boyfriend. No, we are boyfriends. They are boyfriends. He's my boyfriend. I don't want to sound rude or anything, but I find it unlikely that you're Fernando's boyfriend. What? Why not? Well, Fernando's whole life was in this hospital. He never had time for other things. Oh, he said was, Fernando realized. I was so confused. Like, what do you mean he said was? Like, I got so confused. He said was, Fernando realized. It was pretty new, Mark chuckled softly. I live in this apartment building, yeah? So you don't know about the accident then? It was 3 months ago. I've been away. Mark's voice faded along with his surroundings as Fernando was swallowed by darkness and he felt his head was gonna explode. Fernando, Mark called him, pulling Fernando from his own head and back to the present. Oh my god, it's you, Mark exclaimed, and Fernando turned around to look at him, stepping farther away from the room. You're not dead, mate. You're alive. This is because they went into the room where Fernando is in a coma. Mark walked closer to the bed, standing next to Fernando's body, sheets covering up to his waist. He had wires running around from all under the hospital gown that's connected to the nearby heart rate monitor, an IV drip plugged to his left arm, and as an distribution tube forcing the lungs to keep breathing. I am in a coma, Mark. That's not good. What do you mean it's not good? It's better than dead. Mark kept talking. Look at you. Your body is healing. You don't have any scars. You look pretty. Mark, Fernando cited. It doesn't matter how I look. 3 months. That's a persistent coma. People just don't wake up from those. We do something then, Mark said. You're here, aren't you? That must mean something. What are you suggesting? I don't know, mate. You're the doctor. Right, Fernando muttered. Forget it. What? I was thinking that we needed to find a way to put myself back together again. Mark nodded. That's good. How do we do that? I don't know. What if you just, jump back in there or something? Mark pointed at Fernando's body. With a sigh, Fernando moved closer to the bed, staring at the edge of it before letting himself fall back into his body. I think it's working, mate. Something is definitely happening, Mark exclaimed. It's not working, Mark. Try again, come on. And this time, really focus on it. Fernando sighed, setting back down, trying to feel something, anything. He didn't feel anything different from what he had felt during when people walked past him or when he walked past walls and objects. It's no use, Fernando said. It's like there's nothing connecting me to my body anymore. Okay, turn around. What? Turn around. I want to try something. Fernando frowned, looking at Mark with a confused face before he shrugged, turning around from Mark and looking out towards the curtained window. You feel that? Mark asked softly, and Fernando nodded, still looking down at his hand in awe before turning back down to look at Mark. That means you're still connected with your body. Mark touched Fernando. Fernando can feel Mark's touch. That machines don't agree. Machines don't know everything. Everything I know, what I've learned in my training tells me they do. Mark smiles, didn't wave, so even a bit as he kept his eyes on Fernando, taking one step closer. Then, how are we having this conversation? Fernando opened his mouth, but he found he didn't have an answer to that. He didn't know why he was like this or why Mark was the only person who could see him. They stood in silence, just looking at each other. And that yearning that Fernando had felt before came back, and he found himself wishing that he had a body. Mr. Weber, Andrea said, I am so sorry, but I have an appointment and I can't leave you alone here. Yeah, right. Can I have just a few more minutes? I just want to say goodbye. Andrea nodded before walking out of the room, letting the door close behind him. Fernando had walked closer to the window, looking at the different pictures, drawings of flowers there. He smiled at one of the drawings. He was clearly meant to be a portrait of him. Memories of his nieces and sister come back to him like some kind of montage of family videos. My nieces made this. Yeah, Mark said. Little Picassos. Fernando shook his head and had a smile on his face as he looked at Mark go over the pictures. That's a picture that was on my nightstand. Lorena must have brought it. You look great, Mark whispered. Look at me now, Fernando sighed. These levels aren't changing. If anything, they're decreasing. I'm gonna have to leave soon. All right, Fernando nodded, tried to ignore the small pang on his chest. Do you want me to wait for you in the lobby then? Fernando shook his head, smiling sad at Mark. It's okay, you go home. I'm gonna stay here. He looked down at his body before looking up at Mark again. Thank you for helping me. It's nothing. Are you sure you don't want to come back with me? It's your apartment after all. After making it here, I can't imagine leaving myself, you know? It feels weird, to leave you here alone. I don't know where else I belong, he said softly. I'm sorry, Mr. Weber. I know, sorry, Fernando said to Andrea before turning back and looked at Fernando, who wasn't even looking up at him. Goodbye, Fernando. Goodbye, Mark. Fernando muttered, looking up to watch Mark leave the room before turning back to look at himself on the bed. It was strange to see himself there, and yet he felt nothing, like he was looking at some stranger that happened to look like him. He started looking around the room once before heading out and walking back to the nearest station where Andrea was standing with Giancarlo, both looking towards the elevators. I hate this, Andrea sighed. He finally gets alive, and then... I know. At least he had a chance to hang out with him for a while, Giancarlo said. It would have been awful if he had gone his whole life not knowing what it was all about. Oh my god, Lando? Fernando frowned, looking at him in turn, exchanging saliva with Carlos, one of the nurses. No wonder I could never find you. I can tell you something. My friend included Carlando in here, because I am a Carlando fan. I'm not a fan of Carlos as much. Like, I'm not too big fan of Carlos, but I'm a Carlando fan. And my friend knows. And he knows I love Carlos and I love Lando together, like, as a couple. I think they're so cute. And he included Carlando so I could read it and be very happy about it. Oh my god. I'm so happy. Oh my god, thank you so much. If you're seeing this, which I don't know if you are, but like if you're seeing it, thank you so much for including Carlando. You made me so happy. Oh, Fernando rolled his eyes when he heard a voice behind him, and he turned to find Hamilton sitting behind a large desk and talking to the phone. I guess you got my job. That's all right, I earned it. It is everything you thought it would be, Fernando asked. It is, Luis answered to who he was talking to the phone. It is time to do an upgrade. I think 740 would do nicely. I'm going to the dealer tonight. Maria, Bianca, Fernando called out, rushing down after his nieces, cutting up to them as they reached to his room, each pulling on his arms and fighting over who won the race. Fernando watched them with a half smile and his eyes before he looked down at his hands, frowning slightly. Why is it that I can feel him but not you? Fernando asked no one in particular. That's funny. I remember saying no running or screaming. Lorena, Fernando called out. Can you feel me? He asked. I guess not, Fernando cited. It's nice that you bring them to me. It's nice that you bring them to me. Excuse me, someone said from the door, and Fernando turned to see Luis standing there with a smile, making him roll his eyes. Mr. Alonso, I am Dr. Hamilton. He offered his hand on a handshake. Could I have a quick word with you? Sure, Lorena nodded. First of all, I hope you know how much we love and miss Fernando. We've taken some extraordinary measures these past 3 months to make sure he was comfortable. This is hard, Louis says. We come to work at a hospital. They ask us to sign certain release forms. Do you know your brother's thoughts on artificial maintaining life? No, Lorena, don't listen to him. No, it's not something we ever talked about. Oh well. Your brother was against it. Most of us in the medical profession feel this way. I've changed my mind, Lorena. I am completely for it now. Are you suggesting we unplug my brother? Look, I understand, but there still is some brain activity, no? People have woken up from this kind of coma before. Not that I'm aware of, Mrs. Alonso. Stop messing with the bed. But Mama, we're looking for the steak, Maria protested while Bianca kept giggling on the other side of the bed. What steak? Lorena asked. You always say that Uncle Nano has a... Yeah, I'm gonna jump this. I'm no, okay. Sometimes it's better to ask God's forgiveness and not prolonging the inevitable. Lorena stopped walking, looking up at anger on his face, with anger on his face, as he glared at Luis, making the doctor raise his hand and surrender. I said I will think about it. Fernando let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. Lorena had always looked out for him, especially after they moved here from Spain, and he had never felt so grateful for his sister. He watched as Lorena got onto the elevator with the girls, and Luis stepped away to his office, no doubt. And Fernando turned around, looking at the busy staff walking from one place to the other, visitors and patients all moving throughout the hallways, a background of chatter permeating the air. Fernando sighed. He was surrounded by people, and yet he had never felt so completely alone in his life. That is the ending of chapter 7. And this is already half an hour long. This is going to be a very long video. But I'm about to read chapter 8, so I hope you're excited. This is long as well. Why did my friend write so fucking much? Like, I wish I could just read a tiny bit of it and that's it, but I want to make it, kind of fun. So I need to read the whole thing, and this is taking me so freaking long. Okay, chapter 8. Mark closed the door of his apartment behind him, setting the keys on the table before he let himself fall down into the couch. Helping Fernando find who he was, spending time with him. It had been amazing. Sure, at first he didn't really get along, but Mark had to admit Fernando had grown on him with time. Of course, you two are together. You two are dating because you're so in love with each other. Of course. Yeah. He didn't really understand Fernando's reason for staying behind at the hospital. What was he going to do there anyway? Perform ghost surgeries? At least he would have someone he could talk to if he had come back home with Mark. Maybe he'll come back later. Maybe he just needs some time for everything to really sink in. It's not every day that you are confronted with your comatose body. Anyone would need some time to process that before being able to accept the inevitable fact of life. A fact of life Mark was way too familiar with, and that he didn't really want to consider in terms of Fernando. Mark reached for one of the beer bottles on the top shelf, wanting something to take his mind off everything. He grabbed one, looking down at the bottle with a frown for a moment, detachment in his face. Just a few days ago, Mark would have told himself that he needed the beer, because he needed that numbing. But now, did he even want it? Mark sat down once he was done making dinner, noticing for the first time how nice the table actually was. And suddenly, he found himself searching for something to put under the plate, and glass to protect it, wondering how Fernando was doing, what he was up to at the hospital, a small smile forming his face as he remembered Fernando's smile when he had found that he was a doctor, flashes of big brown eyes and soft laughter filling his eyes, and also the memory of his soft hands. He's so in love. He is so in love. It's so cute. Aww. Hey mate, can I help you with anything? Definitely, Sebastian said. I've logged out I've got locked out and I forgot my phone inside my apartment, so I was wondering if I can use yours to call my locksmith. The locksmith. Oh, sure, come on in. Mark moved aside to let Sebastian in. You can use the phone in the kitchen. Mark watched Sebastian walk into the kitchen, taking a deep breath when he was out of sight before he went to join him. Sorry, Mark interrupted Sebastian after God knows how long. Does the locksmith know to come up here first? I think so, Sebastian shrugged. Are you single, Mark? Sebastian suddenly asked, getting up and walking closer to Mark. Sebastian! You're a whore! And very direct. Oh my god. I want Sebastian's confidence. I really want Sebastian's confidence in this. Oh my god. Are you okay? Yes, sorry, I'm just clumsy. Wait, what happened? Oh yeah, the coffee went all over the table. Nothing important. Mark got startled by the feel of Sebastian's lips on his eyes widening in surprise. There was a split second where Mark considered letting him down gently, big brown eyes appearing in front of his mind again, but Mark pushed that away. He and Fernando were nothing. Fernando was a ghost, for fuck's sake, and they had said their goodbyes already, so what was stopping him from kissing that pretty guy that had clearly come to his apartment just for it? Mark doesn't want to kiss Sebastian because he's in love with Fernando. That's the cutest shit ever. I mean, it's just, in reality, it's just like bare minimum, but like, it is so cute. They are so in love. Oh my god. Wait, Sebastian. Wait a minute, Sebastian asked. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to freshen up then, yeah? Come on, Mark. Mark chilled himself as he started to walk down the hallway. Get your head in the game, mate. He's right there. Willing. Beyond willing. You're in here and just... Oh, who was he kidding? He couldn't do it. Not now. Not when he couldn't get Fernando out of his head. Hola, Mark. Fuck, Mark yelped. What the fuck, Fernando? I didn't know you were coming back. I thought you were gonna stay back at the hospital with your body. Why are you shirtless? Fernando asked. Laundry, Mark answered. Why are you here? Sorry, Fernando said, but I need your help. I didn't know what else to do. You're the only one who can see me and hear me. Wow, calm down. What's wrong? So apparently, in my infinite medical wisdom, I decided that I didn't want my life to be extended artificially. Since it's been 3 months and no sign of me coming around, the hospital gave my sister the papers to basically pull up the plug. Wait, what? Fernando exclaimed. That means you will die. Like, you will be actually dead. They can't do that. Well, technically they can, Mark. I've been in a coma for 3 months with no signs of waking up. And well, I wanted to talk to you about something. Mark! Oh no. Sorry, I'm just processing that Sebastian fucked it up. Sebastian fucked it up! Oh god, no. Wait, no, it's not what it looks like, Mark scrambled. It's alright, Mark. No, look. He just showed up because he got locked out of his apartment. You don't have to explain anything. I get it. No, you don't get anything. He's just using the bathroom. Really, because his voice sounds like he's coming from the bedroom. It did? Mark frowned. Look, this isn't what it looks like, okay? I promise, Mark fumbled. Mark, Sebastian said again, come here, I want to show you something. He added, more clothes flying from the room. I had no idea. That he was naked in your bed? Mark shrugged. You want to go look? What? No. Come on, you're wondering what he looks like right now. No, Mark shook his head. Where are you going? I'm going to take a look for you, Fernando shrugged. I don't know how to say that word. That's not how I was supposed to say it, but I don't know how to say it. Come on, Fernando, don't be like this, yeah? I swear I didn't know. I don't even want to be with him. Yeah, sure, that's why he's naked in your room while you're shirtless. You sound jealous, Mark blurted out before he could stop himself. Oh, please, you do. Mark, is everything okay? Sebastian asked. I heard you talking to someone. No, everything is alright, yeah? I'm sorry if I'm coming too strong. I just figured to consenting single adults, we could have a little fun. I hate you sometimes, you know? Up here, all alone, I think maybe he's lonely. I know I am. Look, Sebastian. Mark, Fernando said. Just do it, see? It's okay, it's clearly what you both want. Mark's brain struggled to catch up to what Fernando was saying. So just go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting. It wasn't okay. He didn't want this. This isn't what I want, Mark said, choosing to ignore the other person in the party and focus only on Fernando. Mark, Are you alright? Do you want to take some kind of medication first? It's cool if you do. Mark, it's okay. He's pretty and he's right in front of you, and I am certainly in the way. Sorry, but I lied. I am actually seeing someone right now, and I also need to go. Please, don't be here when I come back. Mark interrupted Sebastian, not even returning to look at him before he went to the door that led to the rooftop. His gut telling him that's where he would find Fernando. I'm about to start crying. Oh my god. Fernando? Already? That was fast, Fernando scoffed. You're not funny. I kicked him out. And what did you tell him? That I was saying someone else, Mark shrugged. You're also not funny, Fernando muttered. Silence grew between them after that. You know, Mark started, I haven't been with anyone since Timo died. He was sick. I don't even remember how it happened. I just remember that one day he was fine and the next we were at the hospital and he was dying. Mark's voice broke slightly. I was more scared than him, you know. Since day one, he was acting like everything was fine, and it wasn't. And I tried to help him, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't save him. I was not expecting to cry in this episode, but this specific thing is very relatable to something that happened to me. And I guess these 3 lines just trigger that. Oh no, they're gonna start talking about him. Okay. What was he like? Fernando asked. He was a pain in the ass, Mark chuckled. He was so damn stubborn. I could tell him to do something one day and he would do the complete opposite just to spite me. He got an idea if he got an idea on his head, nothing could change his mind. He was pure stubbornness. You would have got along just fine, I'm sure. It wasn't your fault, Mark. Mark looked at Fernando and slowly nodded. Your sister, she wouldn't sign those papers, right? I don't know, Fernando frowned. But it won't matter soon anyway. Brain activity is decreasing every day. Oh, that's not so bad, Mark said with a dismissive shrug of his shoulders. It will bring you down to my level, he screamed again, confusing Fernando with his shifts in mood. You're not dumb, Mark. A little lazy, maybe. Cute, but lazy. Well, thank you. I'm flattered, Mark chuckled softly. I wasn't always like this, you know. What were you like? Are you sticking around tonight? If you want me to, I don't really have anywhere else to go. Good, because I want to show you something. But we have to go in the morning. Fernando could feel the excitement coming from Mark, his smile contagious. Mark suddenly got up, walking towards the room. Where are you going? Bed. It's late, and I need my 4 hours of sleep before we go, Mark shouted, before he disappeared down the stairs. Fernando chuckled, shaking his head before he got up as well, following Mark back to the apartment. Oh my god. It's okay, I'm not crying, everyone. It's fine. I'm okay. I'm fine. Look. I'm fine. But yeah, that is chapter 8. We're done with this video. Oh my god. This is getting so good. Like every chapter, I feel like it's just getting so good for the moment. It's so great. Yeah. This is the next episode already done. What the freak? Like I feel like we're just going through it so fast. It's very interesting. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode of me reading The Ghost of You by my friend, the fanfiction that my friend wrote. I think that the 2 chapters that we read in this episode are probably my favorites so far. Because the first ones are like, you know, the first 6, they're good. They get you into, you know, what's going on. They get you into the plot. You see how, you know, Mark and Fernando are, you know, acting with each other and reacting and talking and stuff. But I feel like these 2 are like the chapters when you get everything, like the actual, you know, information. And I really liked it. It was so good. And I love that Ollie is involved and that Carlando is involved. Yeah, it was so fun. So yeah, I will see you guys on the next episode where we'll be reading chapters 9 and 10. And I will see you then. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, remember to like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so you're notified when I post a brand new video every Friday. And I will see you on the next video and on the next episode of this little series that I'm doing.